Hey guys, BMOC888 here coming at you with a Fortnite gameplay video. I did really well this game, so I wanted to put it up on YouTube, obviously. I am consistently a top 10 player, but in this game I came in the top 5, which is something I also often do. But I just had a really good game here. I believe I wound up having 6 kills total, which is quite a bit for me. I have less than 2 weeks of experience playing this game, so I'm still trying to learn a lot about it. Still pretty fresh at it, to be honest. So one of the things I really need to work on is actually building forts proficiently. There are some real people on here that are just really good at it. They're like wizards at it, and I feel like it's a big advantage, as is the name of the game, Fortnite. But for now, I'm just playing around with the game and trying to do better and better every time. I'm not going to commentate this whole game. I'm just going to commentate bits and pieces of it. Mainly this part right here, because I just put that spike trap on the ceiling, and at this phase of the game I usually have a weapon, but this round for whatever reason was proving challenging to find one, so that spike trap proved to be a good move on my part, and you're about to see that here in a second. I unfortunately run into a guy here, run back underneath the stairs, and he falls for it. So I got a weapon. It was one of the coolest ways I've used that trap so far to get a kill. I'm going to let a lot more of this gameplay run out for now without my commentary, but I'm going to join back in on a few scenarios here in this gameplay to commentate and let you know what my thoughts were. Other than that, enjoy the rest of the gameplay for now. I was really pumped right here that this guy dropped a suppressed pistol, an epic suppressed pistol. In my mind, the only way it could have gotten better, obviously, is if it was a legendary suppressed pistol, which is quite possibly one of my favorite weapons in this entire game. People really underrate pistols in this game, but I love them. And later on in this video, you're going to see why I like them so much, because I use this little sucker quite well. Alright guys, here's another part of the video I want to talk about. As you can see here, this guy's got a legendary bush on, and this is one of the reasons I really don't actually like this. I'm not a fan of the legendary bush, to say the least. I'm not sure if there's an option to take it off. Like I said, I'm kind of a noob at this game, so there may be an option to keep pulling it off in the menus. I haven't figured out if there is one, but to my knowledge, every time you put that thing on, it's stuck on you. And then it hides you really well when you're standing still, but obviously from what you just saw, when you're moving, it is obnoxious. So quick headshot on that guy with my sniper, I take his loot, he loses the bush, and that's that. He's dead because he put on the legendary bush. So Coming up right here, if there's one thing I've learned playing this game so far, it's knowing when to take the shot and when not to. This was a good example, I feel, of not taking a shot and being smart about it. I really didn't have a clear shot on that guy. He was running downhill and kind of fast, and I'm a decent sniper at this game actually so far, but I'm not really skilled enough to where I could have just headshotted the guy that far away. I could have pot shotted him, but what difference would it have made? At that point, that far away, he's somebody else's problem. And when you're in the top 10 like this, you really need to be careful about how much noise you make. You never know who's around and who's listening. So. If there's one thing I've noticed in this game particularly, it's that people really undervalue and underrate the pistols of this game. Here, in the end game, as I'm now in the top 5 officially at this point, I am still using a pistol, an epic suppressed pistol. This guy emerging from that little hut you heard earlier lay a spike trap. That's how I knew he was there, and that's why I specifically moved to this bush for a strategic advantage over him. Just so happens he was thinking the same thing, but unfortunately, much to his disdain and surprise, I was there waiting for him. In the end game, silence is very important. The eye of the storm is shrinking so much, and all the noise you make will just give you away. And the good thing about the pistol is it shoots as fast as your trigger finger is, so you can just spam the crap out of that and really get a lot of shots off before they even know what's going on, which is exactly what happened to that guy. And keeping it quiet at the end game is very important. I feel pistols are very undervalued, and a lot of people could benefit from using them more often, to be honest. It's always easy to realize what your mistakes were in hindsight, which is exactly what I'm doing while I rewatch my own gameplay. But in the end game, I didn't have a fort built. As I discussed earlier, I'm really not good at building forts yet. I gotta get better at that. So being a bush Wookiee is the next viable strategy, and it was working well for me up until this point. And usually the rule is when you see two people fighting, you leave them be and pick off the winner. But I started getting a little too ambitious here, and I saw this guy. Felt like I had a good shot, had him lined up in my sights, but instead I was lined up in somebody else's. Lesson learned, I hope. But other than that, thank you so much for watching.